Hey guys, hope you're doing well. In today's video I'll be giving you all a 3-month update on my jungle fishbowl aquascape. For a scape that's only 3 months old now, it's starting to look really mature. I think this is because I'm using faster growing plants. Since the plants are growing faster, the scape's going to mature quicker too. You can see the Limnophila is starting to creep its way back into the foreground again. I'll definitely be giving this plant more of a harsher trim than normal. I want to make sure that it doesn't block off the light from reaching all the other plants in the fishbowl. So now I think it's time to show you guys how I'm going to clean and tidy up this fishbowl. Today I'm going to be doing about a 2/3 of a water change. I'm doing a larger water change than usual because I missed the week out. I'm going to be siphoning out the water in 2 stages. By doing it in 2 stages it will allow me to remove some debris and detritus that have got into the water column after I've done the cleaning. Hopefully by doing it this way I'll get clearer water quicker. Now with some of the water removed, it will make trimming the Limnophila a lot easier. This plant grows so quickly even in an ultra low tech setup like this. It only takes like a week for this plant to grow back to its pre-trim size. So I have to regularly trim this plant just to keep it at a decent size. Whenever I do trim this plant it sends off 2 little side shoots from the area it's been cut at. This is what happens with most stem plants, causing them to grow bushier. But over time the plant can start to get a little bit too dense. When it gets to this stage you have to replant the plant and start all over again. So now I'm going to trim some of the unhealthy leaves from the Cryptocoryne Lucens. Since it is a slow growing plant it's very prone to algae, and with the Limnophila growing so tall it starts to block off some of the light from reaching this crypt. Whenever I see a leaf with any algae growth on it, I'm just going to trim it off. It's better to trim these leaves off earlier than later, otherwise they'll start to melt in your aquarium water. I'm just going to do another trim past the Limnophila. It's a little bit of a weak plant so it tends to drape over the surface of the water. This makes it a little bit harder to judge how tall it is and how much to trim. Also, since there is so much of it I might have missed a few stems, so I just want to go back and make sure I trimmed as many as I could. Hopefully now more light will reach the lower areas of the fishbowl. Now it's time to do what I think is the most important step of the maintenance process, and that is to clean the glass of this fishbowl. There has been a little bit more algae growth than usual. I think I might need to play around with the light settings for this setup. At the moment I'm running an 8-hour photo period, but I'm thinking I might reduce this down to 6 hours instead. Usually the best thing to do when you're starting to get algae problems is to reduce the light a little bit. Now that I'm done cleaning the glass, you can see the water in the fishbowl's got a lot more murkier now. This is just a bunch of debris and detritus that are floating around in the water column. So what I'm going to do now is just siphon out a little bit more water from the fishbowl. This will allow me to take all the debris and detritus out of the fishbowl. When I took the remaining water out the fishbowl I noticed I missed some algae on the glass. I'm just going to do another cleaning pass around this fishbowl just to get rid of the excess algae. Now we're almost done with the maintenance. It's time to fill the bowl back up with fresh clean water. Usually whenever I do a monthly water change I notice the shrimp start to molt. I think the temperature change when the new water is being added is what triggers it. Then usually after the molting process I notice a lot of shrimp start to get buried. I'm just going to remove any of the excess plant leaves that have reached the top of the surface. I want to try and stop these waste plant leaves from rotting away in my aquarium water. This will help to reduce the amount of organic matter in the water column. That's pretty much all the maintenance done now. In a few hours time the water will become a lot clearer. But overall I'm really happy with how the scape's turning out. As the months go by the bowl starts to get more and more jungle like. I recently noticed a group of 5-end guppy fry. With all the extra plant mass in the bowl it's providing a lot of space for them, and this is what's increasing their chances of surviving in this fishbowl. It would be really great if they could reach adulthood. I'm so interested to see what kind of colours they'll develop as they grow and mature. They are really small so I hope you guys can see them in the footage later. So here's the bowl a few hours later. Now that all the debris and detritus in the water column has settled down, the water's looking a lot clearer now. I think in about 1 or 2 months time I'm going to have to replant all the Limnophila. It's starting to get very dense because it grows so quickly. I need to make sure that the lower ends of the plant gets enough light. If these areas don't get enough light then it could cause the whole plant to die. So what I think I'm going to do is give it a month and see how dense it gets. If it does end up getting too dense, in the next maintenance video I'll show you guys how I'm going to replant this plant. To end the video I thought I'd share with you guys some extra footage I recorded of the bowl. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like, and if you want to see more videos from my channel, please subscribe.